All right, everybody, I am back with a brand new DC update. And quite a few things have been posted online since I posted my video yesterday. And we're going to take a look at some of these things. One of those things is the supposed plot leak for Superman Legacy. Now, it doesn't spoil the whole movie, but when I get to that slide and talk about it, I will warn you that there could be possible spoilers ahead. We're going to talk about what the bullet points mean and what I think they may be doing with that particular film. And just as a note off of that, yesterday I posted how they had not even started writing Batman, the Brave and the Bold. They may be waiting on a lot of this stuff until Superman Legacy gets released to find out if it's going to do well. I don't think it's going to do well. I don't think it's going to make even as much money as the original, the Man of Steel did 10 years ago. I don't think it's going to make anywhere near what Batman versus Superman made or Aquaman. I don't think it's going to come anywhere near that. I think it'll make even less than the Batman did. And how I gauge that is based off of past trends. I've been a movie guy my whole life. I watch numbers. And the one thing that you have to understand is that Batman is a much more bankable character than Superman is. It's what has always made money for Warner Brothers. You can even see that with Man of Steel. It didn't make as much as Batman versus Superman did, or Aquaman. It's just not as a bankable. Superman is not as bankable of a character. Now, one thing people fail to realize is that Man of Steel was making money even before it got released because of the licensing and everything. So that movie actually made bank for the studio. Man of Steel doesn't have that luxury. It's not going to. And the studio is going to push it like nothing else. They like with the Batman. When the Batman came out, a year and a half ago, they really pushed that movie. Like I have never seen them push a movie like they did the Batman. And if you saw the Batman, it still didn't make $800 million. It just didn't. And so I don't think that Superman Legacy is going to make anywhere near that. And they are going to push it like crazy. But I'll tell you, we're going to also look at a photo that was released of David Cornsweet working out or getting ready to play Superman, and they sure are making him look a lot like Henry Cavill, and they're trying to deceive people with the photo. And if you didn't know that it was David, you would think that it was Henry. You really would. But let's take a look at some of the stuff that has been released over the last 24 hours. First up, we have something I want to make a point on here. It says this is from Blu-ray Angel. Marvel's first MCU movie was just Iron Man. James Gunn's first DCU movie, Superman Legacy, has Superman, has Lois Lane, Guy Gardner, Green Lantern, Metamorpho, Hawkgirl, The Authority, Mr. Terrific. It's getting to be a little crowded. Now, we don't know if the whole Authority is going to be in there, and some people made this comment that he may have been coy, saying not the entire Authority is going to be there, but just maybe that one character. So we don't know just yet. And James Gunn just he's not very clear on social media. And that was the point of that post. And, a lot of people, the thing that irritates me is people will get mad that Batman versus Superman tried to jam so many characters into that second DCEU film. Yet, look at what they're doing for the first DCU film and just jamming so many of these characters in there. It's getting to be overcrowded. And somebody made the point, and this was interesting, in my comments, that if people just have this blind faith in James Gunn. I do not. I look at his past record. Now, people say he did one of the biggest hits, Guardians of the Galaxy for Marvel. A couple things you need to note. Marvel was already a name brand by the time Guardians of the Galaxy came out. We also know for a fact that James Gunn had stolen someone else's writing credits for that film. It is well documented at this stage. And on top of that, you have to remember that they brought Bryan Singer in to do Superman Returns, and yet he had done X-Men 1 and 2, which were hugely popular, but then had the bomb in Superman Returns. So just because he had success over there at Marvel does not mean he is going to have success over at the DCU. And yes, I am one of those people that cannot be built. I am not a corporate shill. Nobody can buy me. And I'm always going to give you my honest opinion on what's going on. And this looks like it's turning out to be a mess. And I don't see this being anything other than a cheap knockoff, and they're just going to try to jam as many characters as they can into this to try and get people to go see it and not really giving Superman his due. All anybody wanted at this stage was Man of Steel 2. We wanted a true Superman sequel, but instead we're getting something entirely different. And again, we're going to look at the plot here in a few minutes and talk about what it actually means. So let's talk about this Superman Legacy story leaks. If you don't want to be spoiled, now is the time to head on out. So these were the bullet points, and this is supposedly a leak of the script. Bullet point number 1 says Superman is early in his career. He's not widely known. Well, in today's day and age, I don't think that would be possible. So if it's taking place now, I don't think that's going to work, because with social media, phones and everything else, Superman would clearly be known. But it says he's not widely known yet. And how they're going to explain that in the film remains to be seen. Bullet point 2 says big public reveal in the Middle East due to terrorists with Kryptonian tech. Now, we're going to talk about that, because this sounds a lot like Black Adam. And there was a leak on this supposed script a while back, months and months ago, and I did post a video about this as well. And I think this is going to be their into creating the DCU, and I'm going to talk about what I think they might possibly do with this. And I think it would be the smart move to show that this is a different universe. It says Waller and Sam Lane, this is the third bullet point, Waller and Sam Lane suspect Superman's involvement and send in the Authority to investigate. Now this is making it sound like it's going to be the whole Authority to investigate. The next bullet point says Superman discovered the tech in the Fortress of Solitude and hopes it will help reveal his origin. The next bullet point is Brainiac revealed as the big bad orchestrating events behind the scenes. And then the last bullet point is information source is trusted, but uncertainties acknowledged. Absolutely. This could be just something they're putting out there to see how people react to it. Who knows? Now, first of all, we heard a little bit more about this, and it sounded like almost the exact same plot to Black Adam. Now, this is where, and I think this may be on purpose. So here's what I'm assuming they're doing with this. I'm assuming that they're going to use this as a way to show Waller being in both worlds, possibly, and we may get flashbacks of Black Adam, and they're going to show how this is a mirror of that universe. I think that's a way that they could go with this, and that this could be one of those things that kind of mirrors both, because we know we have Hawk Girl in this, but we had Hawkman in Black Adam. And I think this may be something they're going to use this same plot point to kind of show that the two worlds have merged, or that this is a different universe altogether. But I do think that Black Adam, because that was the last big film that people went to see, because nobody has seen anything since, and it is expected that Aquaman is going to bomb as well. And so the last big film that the majority of people went to was Black Adam, and they may have to show something to show that this is a different universe altogether, and it may tie into some of the stuff that happened in there, but instead of it being Black Adam, it's going to be Superman there instead. So we'll see what happens. I really don't know where they're going to go with this movie other than what I just mentioned, and that's just speculation on my part. It may not be that at all. I think it would be a smart thing to do if they want to make this cohesive, because I could tell you a lot of people are expecting to see Henry Cavill back, especially regular moviegoers who don't know any of this is going on behind the scenes. The next time a Superman film comes out, they're going to be expecting to see Henry Cavill with the way that Black Adam ended. And that's just what people are expecting at this stage. And so those regular moviegoers who are not in the know like we are, that's what you would expect that they would expect. It's just a weird dynamic. Because I'll tell you that The Flash did nothing to reset the universe other than showing that there are other versions out there. But it didn't do anything to reset this specific timeline. And so we're going to see where they go with this. I do not have a whole lot of hope for the future. And I'm never going to lie to you guys. I'm going to give you my honest opinion on what's going on. Someone had made the comment on Twitter that my channel is no longer fun. I do plenty of other things other than just cover DC. I do cover physical media. I cover TV and movie show news, and there's lots of other things. I do regular movie reviews. So there's lots of stuff on my channel. If the DC stuff is not your thing, then that's fine. Don't watch these, but you can watch the other content that I have. There's plenty of stuff that is unbiased that I give my true review on. And I'm always going to give you my true review. I will never be bought by a studio. And on that point, I'm going to point out something interesting that happened. And if you guys make it this far into the video, mention this at the bottom, because I'm curious as to how many people get to the end of the videos when I do this. And what's interesting is, I've tried to do movie trailer reactions with Warner Brothers, and every time I do it, I get this copyright strike on my channel. And it's not like a death strike, but it's claiming that it's their work and I cannot monetize those videos. So what happened to me the other day when I did the Rebel Moon trailer reaction? I got a copyright strike by Netflix, and I disputed it like I always do the Warner Brothers stuff. And you know what Netflix did? They came back and said, have at it. Go for it. Big difference from Warner Brothers. Shows you the difference between the two companies. Big difference. All right, guys, so there's my update for the day. I do appreciate the support. We will see you guys on the next update.